Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 21, I think, of the Lariat League Wrestling Local to Global series. And we are in the pre-show of the first week of July. I believe we're only, 2 episodes away from our next pay-per-view event, which, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think it's LLW Riot. I think that's the next one. We'll find out at some point. I'll check in between shows. But yeah, we are here. We're in the pre-show. Obviously, Galloway and Marty Martinez both have ring rust. Rusty, and poor gimmick from Martinez, but we don't care about that right now. So they are just going to have pre-show matches until the rust is over. And then Drew Galloway is going to be a star. Simple as that. But we've got a fun little show in store today. We have got a Knights of the Lariat League title match in the main event of this show. RKJ, so Ricky Knight Jr. and Colby Carino get their number one contender opportunity because Timothy Thatcher is available. Our contract with Tanahashi is sorted, so we will get Tanahashi's debut today as well, among, some other fun things. So let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look at this pre-show match. Drew Galloway taking on Marty Martinez. Drew wins in 16 minutes with the Claymore kick. 56 from Drew. Not great, but it will get better. 47 from Martinez. Again, not great, but it will get better. And yeah, that's that. Let's move straight into the main show, where we kick off with what should be a really fun tag team match. Okay, I'll take that. In a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Fantasmambo defeats Mustache Mountain in 20 minutes when El Hijo del Fantasma pins Trent Seven. So Mustache Mountain losing in this one. And I'm going to be honest, I think it's probably Trent's fault. Because looking at that performance from Tyler Bate, there is no way it's him that is at fault here. So poor Trent Seven, being the slow, older man. Tyler Bate being in the prime of his career. Not even in the prime, let's be honest. He's still like mid-late 20s in 2025. So he's got another 10, 12 minimum years ahead of him. So yeah, insane. El Hijo as well is getting better all the time. And to be fair, Chuck Mambo puts in some good work as well. Especially for the level that we're at. A 72 is incredible. So earlier when I was like, I'll take that. No, of course I will. I'll take that every bloody week. But yeah, nice strong match to start the show. Fantasmambo getting a win over Mustache Mountain. Very, very interesting. We follow this with what was expected to happen in the last episode, but my contract negotiation, or my contract reading, let's be honest, is not the best. It is Hiroshi Tanahashi, and William Regal announces Tanahashi's debut, just recapping the gimmick. He has the ace gimmick, of course he does. It's Tanahashi, and it got a rating of very good. I wonder what his in-ring skills are like. I mean, we're about to find out because New Japan didn't re-sign him, which is bonkers. So there must be a reason why they didn't keep him. Let's see if we can find out why. But he is taking on Leon Slater, one of our best in-ring performers that can eat a loss. So let's jump straight into that now. 63. I'll take that. We did have to go short for this match, which is why we've got the negative here, just because Tanahashi can't go any longer than 15 minutes, although I put this as steal the show, so he probably could go more than 15 minutes if we didn't put the steal the show thing. I just wanted to see what he could do. Tanahashi with a 55, that's fine. Leon with a 62, got the crowd buzzing. Let's see what negatives Tanahashi got. Stamina, declining physical ability, penalised for being too short. Leon Slater as well for stamina, damn. Yeah, overall, not bad. He's not got ring rust. It could be a popularity / performance thing is why it's the 55, but I can only see Tanahashi getting better, or at least staying the same for now. But a 63 again is awesome. So our average show rating is between 63 and 72, so far so good. Let's see who or what can ruin that. Following this though, we've got Aisha Ray. She has a match next, but before she has a match, she just wants to get a little thing off her chest. She cuts a promo where she just tells Heidi Katrina that she's an undeserving champion, and Aisha Ray is coming back for her Queen of the Lariat League title. Aisha Ray losing it to Millie McKenzie and then also losing in the tournament against Zoe Lucas, I think it was. It was Zoe Lucas, right? I don't remember. So Aisha just says, no one in this league, in this company, can touch me in terms of my sheer power, aggression, and in-ring skill. And Heidi, you're a fraud of a champion. So I'm going to expose you when I get my next opportunity. And yeah, Aisha's mad fired up. And unfortunately, Jade is being fed to her, our resident goth. And 60. I will take that. Aisha Ray carrying a match easily. In a decent match, Aisha Ray defeats Jade in 16 minutes with the tree slam. Aisha Ray with a 66 and Jade with a 33. So yeah, Aisha Ray very much carrying this. But Jade is apparently one of our next big things. So it's good to get her in the ring, getting her some more experience, and just see what happens with that. But yeah, great performance here from Aisha Ray 60. If she can keep up performances like this, there's no doubt that she could claim back her Queen of the Lariat League title. But this is the final segment before our main event. RKJ and Katrina have been on a very good run of tag team wins and have claimed a number one contendership for the Knights of the Lariat League title against Gunpowder, the team of Bobby Guns and Timothy Thatcher, who have just decimated everyone in their path. And here we go, it's the main event. Gunpowder trying to defend their Knights of the Lariat League title against RKJ, Ricky Knight Jr. and Colby Carino. Let's go. A 77, my boys, in a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and good heat. Gunpowder defeat Ricky Knight Jr. and Colby Carino in 24 minutes when Timothy Thatcher pins Colby with the London Bridge falling down. I'm assuming that London Bridge is falling down. Timothy Thatcher carries the match, that's fair enough. Gunpowder make defence number 5 of their Knights of the Lariat League title, our inaugural champions and still champions. Timothy Thatcher with an 80, Bobby Guns with a 64, Ricky Knight 66, Colby 62. Awesome all round, 77 overall. I think this is probably going to be our best show to date. So let's finish the show and see what numbers we get. A 72. I mean, awesome. We did up our things in the last episode, if you remember. So we upped all of our backstage things, you know, hired pro music, live entertainment, camera work, all that shit. So we're on par or better with all of our rivals, meaning that we'll no longer get negatives there. So yeah, we've just increased our popularity everywhere in the world because YouTube, I believe, streams to every platform. So win-win. I'll take that. Awesome show here. Tanahashi debut, a great defense from Gunpowder. Phantasmambo getting a win on Mustache Mountain. That's also big. And Aisha Ray staking her claim to be the next contender for Heidi Katrina's title. But yeah, that is it for this one. Let's jump over to week 2, our second show of the month, where Ashton Smith will be defending his title against a new challenger. Dan Maloney is in action, as is Rina Yamashita. So yeah, let's dive over there and see what happens. I'll see you guys there. Here we are for show 2, which will be broadcasted in week 2. I always feel the need to say that just in case someone looks up here and goes, you're still in week 1, Ted? And then I'm like, we record 2 shows at a time. Can you read it here? Look, hold on, which is being taped for next week's show. So anyone that's saying that, shut the fuck up. I'm sure none of you are saying that though. You're all smart people. But yeah, we're here for another show and another pre-show match for Drew Galloway while we kind of get rid of that ring rust. He's had quite a few matches now. Just looking at my schedule that I've got in front of me, that's 1 match, 2 match. I think this is his 4th match in LLW now. So yeah, I don't know how many matches it's going to take for his rust to unrust, but he's here facing off against the young Darren Badell, one of our regens, and the one that I think I like the most because he actually gets more than 20. But Drew Galloway got a 56. Obviously Drew Galloway wins, forgot to mention that. 49 rated. Darren Badell gets 31. You know, not bad. And the rust is still there, I'm assuming. Yes, for Rusty. Cool. That's the only pre-show. No, it's not. We have another pre-show match because I was meant to put this on the main card, But we went over, and I didn't really want to skip out on this match because I wanted to see how it went. So yeah, we've got Michael Oku in the pre-show, and he is taking on Anthony Henry. 61, nice. And then about that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Michael Oku got the win. Oku, someone who has low momentum because obviously, you know, he's lost a couple times, but he's won a couple as well. So yeah, just wanted to get him another win, get him on the good side of the momentum. Anthony Henry, I don't really care too much about this guy. He's just here because he's, you know, bang average. So he's can easily fit into any match. But yeah, decent reaction from the crowd. Oku gets the win in 22 minutes with the half crab submission. Michael Oku with a 64, Anthony Henry with a 52. Can't read. 61 overall, pretty good. Not on the main show though, so the number does not matter. Let's head straight into our main televised YouTube broadcasters show, and we begin with an interview with our queen of the Lariat League, Heidi Katrina. Just kind of responding on 81, responding to Aisha Ray, saying that Aisha Ray is going to take back her title and that Heidi's a fraud. And Heidi says, if I was a fraud, Aisha, then why is the belt still around my waist all those weeks after, or a month now, isn't it? Ashes to Ashes was, yeah, Ashes to Ashes was over a month ago. So yeah, it's well over a month now since I became champion, and it's still here after, I think she's had 3 or 4 defenses now, after all these defenses I've done. But I'm not just going to hand you a title opportunity, Aisha, because there's a lot of women in LLW who I think may be more deserving than you are. So you're going to have to prove and earn your place in the ring with me. And then she looks at William Regal and goes, isn't that right, Will? And Will says, well, of course, you know, everyone has to earn their title shot or be offered it by the champion. And if you're not offering it, Aisha has to earn it. Simple as that. And Heidi goes, exactly. So Aisha, how about you just pipe down a little bit, girl? And, you know, get in line, queue up. And when it's your turn, I'll be more than happy to spear you in half. Because, of course, Heidi's finisher is the spear. And she is very good at it. If you haven't seen her in real life, check her out. Her spear is pretty meaty. But yeah, 81 overall, very good. I mean, I think that was mostly led by William Regal, but either way, gets the show off to a fantastic start. And we begin with a 3-way match between Gia Brookside, we're giving her a second chance, Becca, or B3CCA. I think it's just pronounced Becca, but that's just how she's like a pop star, isn't she? Or she thinks she is. And Rina Yamashita, who, you know, is probably on paper our best woman by a country mile. But yeah, this should be an interesting 3-way match. Let's see how it goes. Oh, we got some reds here. But in a decent match though, Rina Yamashita gets the win. She defeats Gia Brookside and Becca in 21 minutes when Rina pins Becca with a splash mountain. Rina with a 67, Gia Brookside with a 34, Becca with a 32. Gia seemed off her game, that's fair enough, I guess. And the match dragged at the end as it was too long for the workers to really keep up an all-out pace. Got the crowd buzzing though, and Rina came out of this match looking good, which is what I kind of wanted. I knew that Gia and Becca floated around the 30s. I knew that Rina floated around the 60s. So I wanted Rina to come out of this looking good, and she did. 52 overall, not bad considering these two ladies are in it. I honestly thought that Gia Brookside would be better than she is, but she's not. So hey ho. But Rina's a star. I think I'm going to slowly introduce more and more Japanese talent, because especially in the women's, you know, division, because that's just where it's at, let's be honest. And yeah, great win for Rina. I mean, she could have a case for a Queen's title at the upcoming pay-per-view. We might have to schedule a match between her and Aisha, because they are the two most dominant women so far. Yeah, that could be a fun one. But moving on, we've got some singles action. As mentioned earlier, Dan Maloney is here, and he has a match against Little T, Tate Mayfairs. 66, nice. And about that had superb wrestling. Oh, my favourite word. And a decent reaction from the crowd. Dan Maloney defeated Tate Mayfairs. The Driller. It's the Driller, isn't it, Dan Maloney? That's his gimmick. In 20 minutes with the World Star. Dan Maloney getting a very good win. Great character, great performance. 66. Tate Mayfair's as well can put in some work. That's why we threw him here. 59. And he's happy to eat a loss. Well, he's not happy, but he's eating a loss. And Dan Maloney wins. I think this is the first time he's been in the ring since his pay-per-view loss. I might be wrong. Or the pay-per-view loss in the three-way match with Ricky Knight Jr. and Chris Dijak. And post-match, Dan Maloney grabs the mic and calls out Chris Dijak. He says, the four-way wasn't fair. The three-way wasn't fair. You took advantage of the situation. You shouldn't be Prince. I should be the Prince of Lariat League. One-on-one Dijak. I'd have you. So, what do you say? Me and you, one-on-one at the next pay-per-view, which I think is Riot. I might be wrong. So Dan Maloney calling out Chris Dijak. We're going to have to wait to see if Dijak accepts. Remember, the rules are the champion can accept a challenge, or you have to earn the opportunity. So Maloney looking to go directly to the champ, and I'm sure Dijak's not going to say no. But we will have to wait and see what Dijak says. He's not here tonight, unfortunately. So next episode, I'm sure we'll find out what he says. But this does take us to our main event of this show. Hasn't been anywhere near as spectacular as the previous one. But it is our champion, our king of the Lariat League, Ashton Smith, taking on a new challenger. Well, not new as in a debut, but new as in first time challenging. Tracy Williams. Well, I would say Tracy Hot Sauce Williams, but that gimmick is doggy and it's changing immediately. So before we react to the match, I'm going to change the gimmick. Ready? Okay, no one look at the score. 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 There we go. Cool. We changed his gimmick to lad because Tracy Williams is a lad. He's embracing the London culture and he's become a little lad. And it got adequate, which is better than what his hot sauce was. So, nice one. But in a main event match that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Ashton Smith retains, of course he does, in 23 minutes by pinning Tracy the Lad Williams with a GTS defense number 2 of his current reign. 57 from Ashton. That's not the best for him. Oh, Ashton, that's not very good. Tracy with a 51. Tracy's got insane in-ring skills. We need to get that pop up because I feel like he could be a really exciting talent. But a 60 overall for the main event. Not the worst, not the best, but not the worst. I'm sure we'll still gain popularity everywhere. I hope we do. But Ashton Smith is celebrating with his title, shakes Tracy Williams' hand. Tracy fucks off to the back. And we hear some very familiar music that we heard earlier in the show. And it is the ace. Tanahashi comes out and he stares down Ashton Smith. He gets in the ring. He offers a handshake. Ashton Smith shakes his hand, is like, what's going on? And then he doesn't let go of the handshake and he just points at Ashton Smith's title. It looks like Tanahashi wants a shot at Ashton Smith's King of the Lariat League title. And that is how we end the show, with Tanahashi setting the challenge to Ashton Smith. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was Ashton Smith, I'd be in two minds. One, get to wrestle a legend like Tanahashi. Amazing. But two, could lose your belt to a legend like Tanahashi. So Ashton Smith has to think about this challenge because Drew Galloway's kind of become extinct over the last few weeks. Losing to Smith and Sterling last episode. So we'll have to see if Galloway resurfaces or if he's going to be slumming it in the pre-show for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's how we end this one. Let's see how we did. 62. Oh, just hit the mic then. Sorry, guys. Got excited. Yeah, decent show. We're in the light greens and up, so that's all that matters. We don't want to see any yellows, any reds. Yeah, really, really fun show. Rina Yamashita dominating as I wanted. Heidi, kind of knocking Aisha down a peg or two, which is always nice to see. Dan Maloney coming back, having a great match, and then calling out and setting the challenge to Chris Dijak. And then back-to-back call-outs here. Ashton Smith defends his title, and then Tanahashi sets the challenge. So that should be a very exciting affair if it happens. Yeah, that's the end of this one, guys. Next episode, we will have week 3 and week 4 shows of July, and then at the end of that one, as always, We will recap our popularity, our money, and everything else. And then the next one after that will be our next pay-per-view, which I do believe is Riot. I could be wrong, but I've said it enough times that I think I've manifested it into existence. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. We're going to hear from everyone that's been called out in this show in the next one. So Dijak's going to respond. Ashton Smith's likely to respond. Galloway's probably got something to say as well. Aisha Ray and Rina Yamashita, I would say, are our top 2 contenders. So we'll have to see what happens there. And yeah, in the next one, we're going to start building that pay-per-view. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye now. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Yeah.